county workers and other individuals that she is said to have given appointments, of course, by the roadside, and which are said should not be done by her, but by the County Public Service Board. So there were numerous issues that were raised, and the governor's side, her legal team managed to respond to a number. There were also video clips that were played by that side. Of course, one of the video played was one on the, she is being accused to have forced her way into the county assembly, and again having moved individuals which were called to have been unruly or behaved in a not so orderly manner. But on the video that was shown, the defense side or the accused side, in their way to defend themselves, used that video and played it before the committee and defended themselves, saying that the video showed in no way that the governor forced her way into the county assembly, and also showed that there were no any individuals or crowds that accompanied her that in any way behaved in an orderly manner. So this morning, that is what has been happening all morning through. Before the break leading to this afternoon sitting, there was an application by the legal team from the county assembly to have the governor take the witness stand to defend what they term is an affidavit that they have presented before the Senate committee, and that she had presented the affidavit, then she ought to take the witness stand to strengthen or defend what she has written in that affidavit. There was a little bit of misunderstanding between the parties, and it took the intervention of the chair to direct that or have Governor Kawira be advised or sought for her consent on whether she will be agreeing to stand or take the witness stand to give her side of the story, as she is the main victim. As you can see, she is getting into the chambers now. These proceedings are taking place at the Senate chambers, and the break was to be for 1 hour. This break came at around 2:55, 3:55, 2:55, and they had been given an hour to be back. That was around 3 p.m. Now it's 4 p.m. So we are expecting any minute now they should be walking in. As you can see, the governor has already taken her seat. On this other side, we can see the county assembly legal team that has already also taken their seat. The side of the governor's legal team is also almost taking their positions. The committee is led by Kakamega Senator Boni Halwale.
And try to resolve those issues before we get into an issue of impeachment. The Speaker, going forward.
Senator Mungatana.
So, Mr. Speaker, let me be a prophet. 40 years from today, Mr. Speaker, when all of us will not be seated here, the people of this country may decide that they will choose a president coming not from the two major political formations that will be in existence at that time. The people of this country may choose to elect, in expression of their independent will, to elect an independent candidate into State House. Mr. Speaker, that president will not be having committee members. He will not be having any person in the House, but the will of the people. Mr. Speaker, going forward, it is my prayer that we will look at the law that will respect the will of the people. The will of the people, Mr. Speaker, is the high currency that we live all of us elected by the will of a people of an entire county. Mr. Speaker, this must come to an end. We don't have to love each other. We must work with each other. You are a governor, I'm a senator. You are a member of parliament. We didn't come there because we love each other. Mr. Speaker, it is because of the will of the people that we serve there. And I'm urging our people.
Your time is up. Honorable Edwin Sifuna.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank this House for according me the opportunity to be on that committee. I admit that it has been a learning curve. I thank all the councils for the parties who have enriched our research here, Mr. Speaker. The people of Meru for being patient with us. Mr. Speaker, I have lost a lot of friends, I can confess, because for the past few days I have refused to answer my phone from the phone calls that have been coming from Meru. But people must understand that when we take up this responsibility, it's a solemn duty to this House, Mr. Speaker. I want to just share out of the experiences 3 things, Mr. Speaker. First of all, as a committee, we feel that when this House decides to go by way of committee, it has to be clear the level and extent of the involvement of our colleagues who are not members of that committee. At some point, Mr. Speaker, and my chair will bear me witness, the committee felt under siege because, of course, from our colleagues, because, of course, there was a lot of interest. So we need to make that clear. Number 2, Mr. Speaker, is the question of time that it takes for us to investigate. Some of us feel that the time is too short. And also the provisions of Standing Order number 80 on the, once the report is tabled, I believe because of the interest, members should be allowed to debate. Finally, Mr. Speaker, my advice is that the Council of Governors must look into training of newly elected governors on various issues of capacity. I believe they need to be trained even on very basic provisions of the Constitution, basic provisions of the law. They need to be taken through these courses because I believe elected leaders come from different backgrounds, Mr. Speaker. And some of the problems we see people getting themselves into is because of a misapprehension, misunderstanding, or just basic ignorance of the law, Mr. Speaker, and many of these things can be avoided. Finally, I hope we've demonstrated, Mr. Speaker, that in these matters, gender is not an issue. That in fact, men can defend women, women can defend men, and vice versa. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I want to leave it there, advise the County Assembly.
The Honorable Tabitha Mutinda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to take this opportunity to thank the committee led by the bullfighter. They've done a good job. Also the other colleagues, congratulations. And I would not want to say keep it up because we do not want to foresee more impeachments. We would want the elected governors to keep performing. I also especially want to thank Her Excellency, Governor Kawira, and say that it's not just a win for you, the governor, nor the women of this country, but we've upheld the Constitution. And I would also want to support His Excellency the President on the legislative matters of the funds. That is the NGCF fund, Oversight Fund, and the Ward Fund. All we had and all this, what the MCAs needed was the Ward Fund. And I appreciate that the governor was able to identify the problem and also was able to give the solution. Governor Kawira, Your Excellency, Meru is my home too. I look forward that let Meru shine. And I know that you're going to be able to work with the MCAs. All they needed, you've been able to identify. Keep the spirit. You're not just a woman governor. You are a leader. In the future, we will not just have women leaders, but we are going to have leaders. Keep leading by example. And what the committee has also advised, as I had Senator Peris Tobiko mentioning, just kindly try and work with your team. You need the MCAs, they need you. And we believe Meru will shine. It is one of the good, productive counties. I am proud of Meru. Keep up the spirit. Thank you.
The Honorable Sekilenku. The Honorable Senator is dozing, I can see from a distance, if you're not hearing me. Honorable Seki.
Yes. I'm ready. I'm standing. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me take this opportunity too to congratulate the committee for the good work done. I want to say thank you so much because you've made this Senate today proud. And we want to say thank you so much for even being brief. Chair, for bringing very few issues. The issues that has been raised against the governor were very few. And I think you've also brought it very clear. And you've been very clear to this Senate that the issues were not really something that can make this governor out of his our office. I want to say thank you for the governor of Meru. As a senator of Kajiado, I want to congratulate you once again being elected. And I want to say that please take the issues that has been raised by the committee. I could really follow the proceedings, and I happened to hear Mheshimiwa Senator Paris advising even you on how you should also take it up in future. Please take those recommendations and advice very keenly. Try to observe them, because it is not very good, again, to come here again. It will not be a very good thing again to come to this Senate again. Try to observe the recommendations by the committee, and I think going forward, we will see a good county, we will see a consultative county. All leaders that has been elected.
Is up, Senator Hamida.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also want to echo my colleagues. I want to appreciate our very able chair, led by Senator Khalwale and Senator Kavindu, for the good work. Well done. We are really proud of you. To Her Excellency Governor Kawira, you've been given another lease of life, more or less. It should not be the end of anything, but just the beginning of everything. To the MCAs, to the Meru County, kindly support Governor Kawira. I am sure this time she has learnt a lesson and she will work with you. Asante. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Cheptumo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to also appreciate the committee for doing a good job. Mr. Speaker, I served with the governor when she was the women rep for Meru. And Mr. Speaker, I would like to thank this committee because Mr. Speaker, Article 181 sets out the grounds on which we can impeach a governor. It was important for the committee, Mr. Speaker, to apply those principles of law on the allegations made against the governor. This House, Mr. Speaker, shall continue to stand firm and to uphold the law. So, pongezi, Honorable Kalwala and your team. Mr. Speaker, life is about learning. Mr. Speaker, leadership is about challenges. I would like to call upon the governor that, Madam Governor, for the last several days, you've gone through a process, listening to allegations made against you by your MCAs and the other leaders. You are a bishop. Yesterday, you made very clear comments in your closing remarks, and you spoke about you will forgive, and you will listen, and you are prepared to sit down with the other leaders. I want to call upon you that that is the way to go, because those who elected the senator, the governor, the women rep, the MCAs are the very great people of Meru County. You need to unite them so that we are able to move together. Mr. Speaker, I want to agree that we need to look at the laws on impeachment. Is the 10 days, Mr. Speaker, for the committee to retreat, if you were to have one, enough? I believe it was not enough. That is why the team had to stay long. And
Senator Montet Batuli Beatty.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving me that opportunity to also join my colleagues in congratulating the very able committee, which did a good job. They sacrificed, they sat down for hours. We are proud of you, and you've made Kenya proud. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, sir, I just want to say that we are happy as women today and urge Her Excellency, the Governor, to, by her own words, to please take it up. It's a second chance. Let her show the nation that women can also lead. The other thing, Mr. Speaker, I would want to say is, could this House look at the issue of the roles of the first husbands and the first ladies, so that in future this conflict can be sorted out? Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and congratulations, Madam, Your Excellency.
Senator Wamatinga.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving this opportunity. I would also want to kick it off by congratulating the committee for the job well done. They've done this House a lot of proud. Senator Khalware and the other 10 members, thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, sir, coming from a county that experienced some attempt to impeach the first governor of Nyeri County, 5 years down the line, there was nothing that was delivered to the people of Nyeri. Mr. Speaker, sir, my request to the governor of Meru County and the leadership of Meru County, it is the high time that they sit together as leaders and realize that they were voted into the office to work for the people of Meru. The pulling and pushing, Mr. Speaker, sir, it will lead us to waste 5 years in Nyeri County. It would be unfortunate if Meru County were to take the same path. Mr. Speaker, sir, we are all leaders chosen by the same people to make sure that we serve them. As stated before, Mr. Speaker, sir, we do not necessarily need to love each other, but we must get a formula of working as leaders, and most importantly, and I heard that repeatedly said during the committee sessions, in the name of Jesus Christ, we must be able to work together. I think this is the spirit that should bind the people of Meru together. They find a working formula among the governor, the executive, the MCAs, and all other elected leaders so that they can move the county, the great county of Nyeri, forward. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator Manzo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity once again. Mr. Speaker, I really want to congratulate the committee, and would like to say that, Mr. Speaker, Parliament, and for that matter, Senate, is forever wise. And I really want to thank Honorable Boni Alwale for his leadership in this matter. And you know, you have shown to the country that devolution is important and it must be protected. Mr. Speaker, we've had experiences like this in Makueni. And I can assure the people of Meru, when Makueni went through this, we wasted a lot of time on an